Hello everyone, it's that Star Wars girl. I just wanted to welcome you all back to my channel. This bow tie is being kind of funky. And to address my outfit for today. So as you guys can see, I am dressed a bit differently. I am doing my business casual look because I'm going to be giving a lesson in manners today to someone who I should never have to give a lesson in manners to, because that someone happens to be a person that is very involved in a franchise that we all love and should know how to handle themselves in business situations and professional situations and be respectful to others. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you are the CEO of a company or a janitor. You still deserve the same respect, and you need to understand that you need to treat everyone with respect. So when you are doing an interview, it is extremely rude to disrespect the person that is interviewing you. Yes, you are there and you are getting paid to be there. It's not some charity work, and even if it was charity work, you still need to be respectful. So when the interviewer is kind enough to let you know that, hey, I'm not a critic, I'm actually just a fan that's interviewing you, you keep your jacket on. That is respectful. You are with a professional. You do not get to act superior to them and be like, oh, you're not a real critic, I'm taking my jacket off. No, be respectful. If you are uncomfortable in your jacket, then wear something else or buy a more comfortable fitting jacket. It's not that hard. I am a woman and I prefer to wear suits. I don't like wearing dresses. I like my suit. I like that it has pockets and I like that it's warm. I'm one of those girls that's always cold and I like wearing suits. Every single wedding I go to, I wear a suit. Every formal event I go to, I wear my jacket and I wear my bow tie. That is part of who I am. And you know what? I'm not a big, director on this movie that got billions of dollars to make. I'm just an average person. And I'm an artist, and I'm covered in paint half the time, and I gotta scrub that off, and then I go out and I put on my nice business attire because that's what you do in a professional situation. So there is no excuse for you to disrespect that guy the way that you did. Not only did you diss us, but then you diss someone that actually is a fan of yours, which honestly you probably have a very hard time finding. And then I watched a second interview, which I'd seen snippets of before because it's not just him in it, it's our one and only Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. And in, the beginning of this interview, there's no nicer way of saying it, but this D-bag is just going on this long rant about how he felt that because he doesn't want to show Luke, being an old guy in his glory days, he wants to show that, middle age is a thing and that there is that downfall. Well, dude, guess what? Look how old you are. And look at your life. You basically just wrote a narrative for your life. Everyone freaking hates you. You literally took something that would have been so easy to be a success and to make money off of, and you destroyed it, and you did it on purpose, and you used the excuse, oh, well, when you look at King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, what happens to King Arthur? He gets betrayed. Well, guess what? He also freaking goes on a quest for the Holy Grail, and he returns the sword back to the woman in the lake, and he lives a full and complete life. And you know why he got betrayed by his wife and his best friend? Because he married someone that wasn't in love with him, and he was into her, but you can fall in love with you. He fell in love at her. He didn't fall in love with her, which is why their marriage didn't work. Do you not know that it's a very common thing for marriages to not work? You have to find someone that you're completely compatible with and that you will love despite your differences. He didn't find that, which is why his marriage didn't work, and we could all see that coming. So you want to use the excuse that you did what you did to Luke Skywalker because he's middle-aged. There are plenty of successful people that are living very, very fulfilling lives, that are doing awesome things, middle-aged and up. I mean, look at Gandalf. How old do you think Gandalf was? And he still freaking saved everyone at the Battle of Helm's Deep. He's just like, yeah, I kind of went to hell and back, but I'm still gonna go save you guys from the orcs. You think that just because someone is older doesn't mean they still can't do amazing things? Go watch a Quentin Tarantino movie. There's no one there that's in their 20s except when, you get to Reservoir Dogs, and even though they're a little bit It's because they're all his favorite guys, but you see how he keeps using them and it keeps getting better and better? I mean, Reservoir Dogs is my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, and the writing in that is just absolutely amazing. Maybe you should go watch a Quentin Tarantino movie. That way you'll learn how to write, you'll learn how to work with actors. Oh, and then this is what really got me, is I'm not going to be disrespectful to the interviewer because she was doing a very good job, and even if she didn't, she said that she liked it, so I don't know if she's getting paid to say that or not, but she was being very respectful and she was asking the questions in a professional manner. And one of the things that she mentioned was that he is a actor's director, and it completely baffled me because when I was watching that, I was like, I've seen movies with directors, and you know when the director directs actors well because the movie is done well. My two top favorite examples are Quentin Tarantino and Guillermo del Toro. They both do extremely amazing casting. Guillermo del Toro, you know, he has Doug Jones, that's his go-to creature guy, and Doug Jones is a very talented actor, and he shows that in every single movie. Then you have Quentin Tarantino, who, I don't know all the actors' names, but he uses them in almost all of his movies. There's, you know, the same kind of actors in it, and he does an amazing job. Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite all-time directors. I love his films. I think he is so talented and so good at what he does. And when I heard he was possibly going to be directing Star Trek, I got so excited because that would be amazing. I mean, Quentin Tarantino, you have this guy, he's extremely intelligent, and it shows. He writes his scripts, and you have those scenes where it's a very intelligent conversation about something so simple. When you have Reservoir Dogs and they're talking in the beginning and they're just talking about why this one guy doesn't believe in tipping waitresses, and they go on this, you know, this rant about it. It's so genius. And then he shows the opposite side of humans and how humans go from extremely intelligent to that complete animalistic side where they're shooting up each other and fighting, and it's the complete opposite spectrums of humanity. And he shows that in all of his movies, how humans can be extremely intelligent, but then we have our other side. And he shows that, and it's genius, and I love it, and people love it. That's why Quentin Tarantino is so successful. Then you have Guillermo del Toro, and you can tell this guy, when he is writing a movie, he is putting his heart into the movies. He spends a lot of time getting everything beautifully shot. He's very good at his cinematography, and he builds these characters. When he describes how he did the filming of Shape of Water, he talks about how when he was writing this film, he had this story inside of him that he wanted to do, and he was inspired by, you know, the monster movies that he saw as a kid. I completely relate to that, and I thought it was absolutely amazing, and it was a beautiful film. It's a beautiful love story. And when he's talking about when he was doing the casting to try to find the perfect actors for these roles, obviously he had Doug Jones, his go-to creature guy, who's also an amazing actor. And then he said he cast based on the eyes, and when he was casting for Sally, he knew that he wanted her because she was, you know, Eliza, that was who it is. And then, you know, for his villain, the eyes, it's all about the eyes in that movie. You can see into their souls based on the looks that they give. He was incredible at casting that movie. It won the Oscar. It shows. His talent shows. Both of their talent shows. Your talent, I don't even want to say you have talent because you don't. Them trying to give you the credit that you're an actor's director when you're really not. You don't know how to work with actors. You didn't use Mark Hamill. You didn't use Carrie Fisher. You didn't use anyone in that film to their full potential. You just crammed in all this bullshit, and you tried to say, yeah, accept it. And if you don't accept it, you're freaking racist. How? Because you don't know how to do your job? That makes us the bad guys? No, that's not how it works. And it's showing. There are so many people that do not support you. Your sales are down. Nobody wants all this stuff that you have. Go watch world-class bullshitters. Go watch their videos of the guy going around and building, pyramids of the Rose Tico figures and just going to Toys R Us and seeing how your toys aren't selling because they're not good anymore. When I was a kid, I saved up every cent I had to go buy Star Wars toys. Everything. I gave everything to Star Wars. I didn't have anything, but what I did have, I would give, and then I would get the Star Wars. When you go to my mother's house, all you see in the little closet where she put all my stuff is all my Star Wars stuff. You're not going to have that anymore. You destroyed that. You got rid of that. Kids today are not going to spend the little money that they have on Star Wars because it's not good anymore, and it's all your fault because you don't know how to cast. You do not know how to direct actors, and you do not know how to use humans to their full potential. And it baffles me that you can sit there and say, no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what I do. And you're so arrogant about it. Like, get over yourself, dude. Nobody likes you and nobody cares. Everyone is angry with you. And you can sit up there on your high horse, but we all know that you are in the most insane form of denial there could be. And it's just absolutely pathetic, and you're just making yourself look bad. A decent human being would, be respectful, not insult your fans. First of all, a respectful person wouldn't say, hey, let's just destroy everything everyone loves. No, but someone that makes a mistake, if they can own up to it, that shows so much of their character. Your character was already thrown out the door. Then when I watched that interview of you where you completely disrespect the interviewer, I don't have a very high opinion of you. Whatever opinion of you I had, it's been extremely lowered. I can't even get words out because I'm so angry and disgusted by you. You are a horrible, horrible human being, and you hold yourself up on this pedestal and you're so proud. What do you have to be proud of, dude? You epically failed at directing a Star Wars movie, which would have been so easy for anyone else to make. So freaking simple. Just give us what we want. We want to go see Luke Skywalker be a badass. We want to see Princess Leia get shit done. We want to see, if you're trying to make us attach to these new characters, give them backstories we can relate to. You tried to do this whole thing about the kid on the planet with a freaking broom and he has the Force. Guess what? George Lucas already did that. He showed Anakin. Anakin was a slave. Anakin had absolutely nothing. And what did he do? With the little tiny specks of nothing that he had, he took care of his mother. He learned multiple languages. He built a freaking pod racer. He taught himself how to be a good pilot. And he gave up everything that he had, which was his mother. He gave that up to go become a Jedi. And you think that we are going to relate to this little kid on a planet that pulls a broom, and you just wanted to give that kid a cameo because he was in one of your previous films? And you want to say that that's you, that you're one of those kids out there that has the Force? Nobody freaking cares. Everyone hates you. We all know that there's people out there that have the Force. You tried to show that with Rey. Don't try to shove down our throats these other stupid agendas, because we can see right through that and it's not done well. You can do these things well. Go watch the original Star Wars. Go watch the Clone Wars. I don't understand why I have to explain this to you. I am not a filmmaker. But I know how these things are done, and I know you are not doing them right. You need to go and watch movies that are actually good. You need to go study other directors and learn from them. I mean, we know that this isn't a Disney problem. This is a you and your boss problem. This is now a currently Lucasfilm problem because it has had such bad management. Now, the other side of the spectrum, go look at Marvel. Marvel did a fantastic job. They've been making movies for over 10 years now, and they finally got to Infinity War. And it makes sense how it evolved because they listen to their fans. There have been people around for many, many years because you know, you got us with the comic books. I wasn't alive when these things came out, but look at Stan Lee. Everyone gets so excited to see Stan Lee because he made all of these amazing things possible. He is a successful person that knows a lot about character development and story. And then you have the directors of the new one, the brothers, and they really understood that they're going to have all these conflicting characters in there, and they set a focus that they need to make Thanos a good villain, because this movie isn't going to work if Thanos doesn't work. So they made Thanos one of those villains where he, you know, people relate to him because he has this mission to save the universe. That is his goal. Just like Darth Vader. Darth Vader's goal was to save the universe and to make it peaceful so that way there won't be any slaves. Thanos wanted the same thing. He didn't want this overpopulation. He wanted everyone to be happy and to prosper. And obviously, they're not doing it in the correct way because the right answer is never killing a person. Hurting someone and killing is never the answer. They are just trying to take this other route, and that is what makes them a villain. But you can relate to the fact that they wanted to do good. That was their purpose. And one of the things that I really think you need to understand about when you're creating a villain is people, you are actually a perfect example. People do not know when they are wrong. Villains do not know when they are wrong. It's one of those character things where, you know, everyone's been in an argument with someone and you're going to hold your ground because, you know, you're right. You're always going to be right. The other person is always going to be wrong. And it's one of those things that it's a human trait that we have because we cannot, most of the time we can't admit when we're wrong. And sometimes we get too deep into something and we're like, I'm already too deep into this. I can't, you know, go around it. But that's one of the things is that it's always depends on your point of view. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke have this intense conversation about it because Luke's like, yo, bro, you told me that Darth Vader freaking killed my dad, and now he's telling me he is my dad. What the hell? Why did you lie to me? And Obi-Wan's like, you know what? I didn't lie to you. Technically, that Anakin was your dad, and Darth Vader killed him. So technically, I was telling you the truth. And it depends on your point of view. Darth Sidious tells Anakin that when he's telling him about Darth Plagueis. The Sith and the Jedi kind of have the same goals. It's just their point of view that's different. The Sith thinks it's okay to kill people. Jedi have these crazy rules about, you know, you're not allowed to have family and love and all that stuff. But it's to keep you away from the bad stuff. And the bad stuff has all these rules that keep you away from the good stuff. But it all honestly depends on your point of view. In Thanos' point of view, he is a good guy. And the Avengers are the bad guys that are keeping him from saving the universe. Darth Vader obviously went off the deep end. But Darth Vader in the beginning, his goal was to save everyone. When he's explaining to Padme on Mustafar about how what he's doing, he's going to bring around like a new government and he's going to right all the wrongs that the previous one did. And she's like, babe, you're psycho, stop. Like, what the hell are you saying? And he's like, oh, you're betraying me. Which, you know, he went off the deep end. He's been killing everyone all day. But it just shows the villain never thinks that what they are doing is the wrong thing. They are always going to think that what they are doing is the right thing in these movies. So Kylo Ren, he very much knows that what he is doing is wrong and he is being rebellious. He's a rebellious teenager who's not a teenager. He's just a big crybaby man-child. And that is what you used for your villain. And Hugh Hefner. Dude, you need to go take a writing class. He is not an actor's director. He disregarded everything that Mark Hamill told him. Mark Hamill, who is Luke Skywalker, who has been this person for 40 plus years, he knows Luke Skywalker. He knows George Lucas. He was there when it all started. He knows everything. Of course, he admitted he didn't read the EU, but he knows the soul and the essence, and he knows how to be Luke. And what did you do to his suggestions? You said, ha ha ha, no. And the entire interview when Mark Hamill comes on, he's just bashing at him and he's throwing like little like snide jabs. And what does Mark do? He takes it and he's respectful and kind and he makes a joke about it. And he knows that Star Wars is destroyed and he knows that we are not going to like it. And you know what he does? He's like, he signed a contract, we understand that, and he just kind of has to deal with it, and it kills me. It killed me to watch that. I wanted to cry watching that because I'm just like, oh my gosh, Luke, I am so sorry that this guy just did this to you, and he did that to you. He did that to Carrie. He did that to, well, Harrison Ford wasn't there, but he did that to 3PO, how Luke said that he had to insist that when he was just supposed to walk past 3PO and not even acknowledge him. No! Mark Hamill says Luke would never, disregard 3PO. Like, how dare you do that to them? How dare you do that to us? How dare you do that to what Star Wars is, and you just disregard the story? I understand that the guy that directed the first movie, he kind of has a tendency to copy things and to redo stories, but you know what? The story worked the first time, and even though The Force Awakens was basically a copy of A New Hope, I enjoyed it. I knew it was a copy of A New Hope. I knew it wasn't as good as A New Hope, but I still enjoyed it. I went and saw that movie 97 times. Do you know how many times I saw The Last Jedi? Twice, and it was because I couldn't return my second ticket. I always buy tickets for the night when it comes out, and then the next day around noon so I can sleep in. And my noon ticket I couldn't return, so I sat there, and the people that were next to me, they were like, oh, have you seen it? And I was like, yes, I'm not excited for this. And the dude that was sitting next to, I went to the movie by myself, and the dude that was sitting next to me, he's like, oh, well, what did you think? And I was like, I don't want to ruin it for you, dude. Like, I can't do this. And he was like, oh, is it bad? And I was like, it's pretty bad. And then when the movie ended, he's like, yeah, that was pretty bad. And then he left, and I was like, I can't even believe I sat here for another, 2.5 hours. My life just... I just don't understand how people that are this narcissistic in the fact that they can't see past their own little bubble, and they're just doing things that they want to do, but it doesn't actually work. He used the excuse that, oh yeah, I wrote this all in my little journal, and this is what episode 8 was. Dude, are you serious? Nobody cares that you write in your little diary. You can go write all of your problems in your diary and keep that to yourself. We don't care. We don't want to see your diary. We want to see Star Wars. We want to see Luke freaking Skywalker be Luke Skywalker. We want to see Princess Leia be Princess Leia, not Mary Poppins. We don't care that this girl got magical powers out of nowhere, and then you use a book as an excuse that Snoke taught her the Force. Oh, and then that whole scene with her and Kylo fighting, which so many movie mistakes. I mean, you have a weapon in a guy's hand, and then all of a sudden it disappears just so he can't kill Rey, and all of a sudden, she's amazing at using a lightsaber, and she knows how to do all this stuff, and she knows how to, use force persuasion, which Luke never even mentioned. It just doesn't even make sense, and you try to write a book to make excuses for you. That just shows that you are not a good writer. I haven't watched your movies. This is the only one I'm ever going to make myself suffer through. And the only reason I suffered through it was because it's Star Wars. So you did these little indie films, and then you got this big budget film, and you know what? It kind of is going to tank your career. I don't know anyone that is going to want to see another one of your movies. You bragged about how you're signed on for 3 other movies. I'm not going to go watch them. I'm not. I have no desire to support you or to see any other BS that you're going to make, because I don't think you are talented. I don't think you are good at your job, and I'm not going to support that. When somebody is doing something that they're not good at, I understand that, sometimes it takes a long time for people to get good at a craft. I know that. I paint for a freaking living and draw, and I know it took me a long freaking time, so I get it. You are middle-aged, but directing, I guess, takes a long time to get better at for some people than others. Whatever, dude. I really don't care what you do for the rest of your life. Just, I'm not going to watch or support what you do, because you intentionally hurt me, and you hurt a lot of other people, and then you don't even have the decency to admit that you made a mistake. If you came out, tomorrow after this video gets posted and said, hey guys, look, I know I kind of screwed up. I had this agenda and I was trying to do all these things in one movie and it was just too much and I failed and I'm so dearly sorry. The message that I wanted to like portray, it wasn't done right and I could have done it better. If you said that, so many people we still would be angry with you, but at least you might get a little ounce of dignity and respect. But no, you choose to insult us and to call us sexist and bigots and on Twitter or whatever you want to say that we're racist and that, you know, we're fat white dudes. Well, you know, I kind of am not a dude and I'm not middle-aged and I'm not out of shape. I'm actually in very decent shape. I lived in San Francisco for the past 5 years and walked everywhere, so I am in pretty good shape. I just want you to know that. And I am a woman. I am built differently than the opposite gender of myself, but I still understand and respect them, and I don't diss them. I don't diss people of different ethnicities just because they're different than me. That is just wrong, and you cannot put all of us into a minority because we don't like your film. I've met so many people of every age, shape, and size. This morning, I talked to a 14-year-old girl who reached out to me and told me that she knows exactly what I went through because she's young and her family teases her because she's the only girl that likes Star Wars. Girl, I'm so sorry. Like I told you, I completely understand where you're coming from. And you want to know what it's like for a female Star Wars fan? Every single time I went out and went to like a Star Wars event, and this is not when I was like little because everyone accepts children, but when, you know, I was in high school and I would go to Star Wars events, the first thing people would always ask me is like, oh, do you know this, and this? And it was a pop quiz of Star Wars trivia. And I'm like, yes, I freaking know that. No, I don't care what the name of that one ship is, that one person flew that 1 second in the movie. No, I don't freaking care. I know what ship Luke Skywalker flew. That's the main person. Darth Vader is my favorite character. Yes, he is a dude. Yes, he is half robot because everyone's been chopping off limbs left and right, but he is still so freaking strong and he is scary as hell. And you want to show me that this Kylo Ren dude that gets one freaking scar across his face and that cries half the time, oh my gosh, my daddy and me didn't have a good relationship. Oh my God, I don't care. We all have family drama. You want to look at family drama? Look at Luke and Darth Vader. Darth Vader cut off his son's hand. He tortured his daughter. He strangled his wife. He tried to kill his brother. But hey, apparently having parents that love you and want you to succeed and having an uncle that's trying to train you, but you have to throw in the fact that he's trying to kill. It just makes absolutely no sense, and I have been ranting about this for far too long, and it just disgusts me. Your personality, it makes me appalled. If I ever come into contact with you, I don't want to even acknowledge your existence. So after I make this video, I don't want to talk about you any longer, and it disgusts me that you haven't come out and apologized to us. You or your boss haven't said anything except for hurtful remarks, and it just shows your character. It really shows that you guys are insecure with yourself, and that's sad. I mean, if anyone is going to make a mistake, at least, you know, be true to yourself and acknowledge that you made a mistake. That's part of growing. Like, I mean, you guys are both older than me. You guys are both twice my age. I shouldn't have to be explaining this to you. It really baffles me. I'm sorry, guys, for that rant and that we even have to talk about people like this. I don't know how people like this get to the places that they are. And like I've said to some of you guys that have reached out to me, I really want to know how that board meeting went where they're like, oh, let's do this and piss everyone off. And everyone else is like, yes, that is a great idea. That is a great business plan. Let's piss off our customers. Yes. You know, because the people that go out there like me that spend hundreds to thousands of dollars a year on Star Wars items. Let's piss them off and take away everything that they loved and just destroy it. And then let's make way for the new people to like come in and like Star Wars. Well, guess what? Those new people aren't, they're not dedicated. It hasn't touched their soul like it's touched ours. And they're not going to go out there. Oh, when they say Kylo Ren lightsaber, $500, I'm not buying that. That's the stupidest the lightsaber I've ever seen. Who designed that? It's gonna cut your freaking hand off. But when you see Darth Maul's lightsaber, Darth Maul was in one movie, and then he was in the Clone Wars and Rebels. But I want Darth Maul's lightsaber. That lightsaber is awesome. The first lightsaber I'm ever gonna buy, of course, is gonna be Darth Vader's. And of course I own that. But still, like, I don't understand. And they're not apologizing, so I'm just going to apologize to everyone because you guys all understand the pain that, I'm going through pain. I have been depressed since I watched, The Last Jedi. It kills me inside to know that the Star Wars that I love is now considered dead, and we're never going to see Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher again, and Luke is still alive, Harrison Ford is still alive. Unfortunately, what happened to Carrie is absolutely heartbreaking, and we're never going to be able to see her again. They could do the CG, but we all know it's not going to be the same. So I'm sorry to everyone out there that's hurting like I am, that has to wake up every morning and know that the Star Wars that we love is controlled by the Empire, and we can't do what we want to fix it. But I just want, if Mark Hamill ever watches this, I just want you to know that I am so, so, so sorry for what they did to you. And it kills me inside to know that you're in pain and that you have to reach out to George, and that I'm glad that you two have each other. I'm just so sorry that this happened to you, and I'm so sorry to everyone out there that was hurt by what they did, because it's absolutely disgusting that people like that come to a position of power that they have, and that they have, that reach on people. But like, it's showing that it's not just Disney, it's them, because look at Marvel, look at Infinity War. That movie was absolutely amazing, and it made you see what a strong villain could be. Like, Darth Vader, I believe he's my favorite character. He's a freaking scary villain, and he has depth to him. And when he comes in a room, he commands that presence. Now, when you see Infinity War, now you know who Thanos is, and it kills you because Anakin, he wanted to bring the galaxy to peace. He wanted to free all the slaves. He wanted to have a family. He didn't want to live with all these crazy rules that were put down because somebody did something stupid, and we have that stupid rule. He wanted everyone to be free, and obviously when you become evil, there's something wrong, There's something not clicking in here, because a good person knows that killing people is never the answer to something. And obviously Anakin had that influence of the dark side, so he went his route. Now Thanos, he saw his world crumble before him, and we learned about that. And then we also learned that, even though he's a psycho, he actually has feelings, and he loved his daughter. He was able to love someone that was not blood related to him. He was able to see this young child and take her in and see her potential and teach her and be a father to her. He obviously wasn't the best father, but you could see that. You saw that he actually was a person, and what he was trying to do, even though it was completely wrong, he was trying to do something that he thought was good. And yes, trying to save the universe is a good goal. Killing people is not a good goal, but saving everything is. So you could see that. You could see his purpose. And when you watch the new Star Wars with Kylo Ren and with, Snoke and Phasma and all these bad people that you keep putting into this, they have no depth. You try to use the excuse that Snoke is like Hugh Hefner. Okay, so he's a freaking perv that's good at business. That is your concept for Snoke. Who gave you the approval for this? Isn't this a Disney movie? Anyway, I mean, I'm mind blown as to how this became a thing. Why do I need to film myself talking to explain this to you? I don't understand. Why do people that are not in the industry need to make videos about this, explaining to you how badly you f***ed up? Why? You have gotten to the place that you are, I don't know how, with the way you've been doing things currently. It really baffles me. So I'm done. I just can't anymore. I can't talk about you because it makes me upset. I can't talk about your boss because I have absolutely no respect for either of you two. And I really think that you should take one of those courses about finding yourself and try to start a new career path, because I think it would really benefit you, because what you are doing, you're not very good at it and you're pissing off a lot of people, me included, and you're just making everyone hate you. And it's not going to be good for business, and you're ruining your career by what you did and what you were defending and by insulting people. So please just do us all a favor and quit, as well as apologize. That would actually show that you might be a decent human being as compared to the bigots and sexists that you accuse us of being. You want to say that you don't need men in VFX and you want less white directors? Dude, you are a freaking white director. You are a middle-aged white director and you're not in the greatest shape. So everything that you're bashing on the fans for, take a look in the mirror. And girl, you are a white middle-aged woman who doesn't know anything about Star Wars. Just do us all a favor and just do what you made Luke do at the beginning, or excuse me, at the end of the movie, and just disappear. You would make us all so happy, and you probably would be a lot happier because you wouldn't have to deal with all this backlash at you for what you did, and you could find a completely new career, have a clean slate, and move on with your life, just like we can. Thank you, everyone, for watching this. I'm sorry that I get angry, but people suck, and it sucks that we have to talk about this and make this. So I hope you guys all have an awesome day, and I'll see you over at Geeks and Gamers.